Good afternoon, Alex. As you can tell by my sitting down here in the living room, my wife is currently taking a final on campus. And so today I am going to be discussing a few game ideas that I've recently come up with, just because we don't have enough game ideas currently on our plate. Now, like most Americans, I am a fan of learning about controversial subjects. I am a huge fan of reading about whaling. I'm interested in learning more about hydraulic fracturing. And among my list of controversial subjects that I like regularly reading about is the Westboro Baptist Church. They're those people who you see protesting veterans' funerals, protesting at natural disasters, and just about any event where they can get a lot of publicity. Basically, they're protesting homosexuality in general, claiming that all death and natural disaster is directly caused by God because he's furious about the fact that there are gay people in existence. Like all controversial subjects I have an interest in, I'm also interested in repackaging that into a board game type scenario. And so the other week I was thinking, it'd be kind of interesting if there was a Westboro Baptist Church board game where you sort of move your protesters around the United States trying to save heathens from the eternal hellfire. Now in my mind I thought, that'd be kind of a funny little political commentary board game. But then I just found out the other day that the person who actually created the Westboro Baptist Church is currently reported to be on his deathbed. Now, I'm not the kind of person who wishes death on anybody. The fact of the matter is, if I had a time machine and could go back and kill Hitler, I would have serious ethical qualms about whether or not I could preemptively murder somebody for future crimes, even if I know that they're going to be committed. I'm a huge fan of the concept of the evil baby orphanage, as touted by the Vlogbrothers. So I feel like Fred Phelps is one of the perfect people who could go to said orphanage. Now, going full circle back to sort of the game ideas, after reading that he was on his deathbed, I felt that even a satirical game about his church is just in such poor taste that I could not even continue thinking about it. So in keeping with this idea, I've decided to change the concept of the game to something everybody can agree on, that everybody is perfectly okay with and everybody loves. That's right, I'm talking about communism. Who doesn't love a good Red Scare? I know I love a good Red Scare. If you throw communists into something, I am all about it. So to change the concept of the game, instead of being protesters, you now work for the federal government in good old-fashioned McCarthyism, and instead of having heathens, you have communist sympathizers operating inside of the United States. The game would operate a lot like Pandemic, where you would add cubes to various cities to represent the communist sympathizers, and you'd have to move your pawns to those cities in order to remove said sympathizers before the sort of red menace gets out of control and you lose the game. So basically the way I envision it working is if you get too many cubes at a single city, it sort of becomes a communist cell, and all those cities linked to it will gain communist sympathizers at an accelerated rate. Now, of course, like all ridiculous game ideas I come up with and then post on this vlog, I haven't worked out all the mechanics quite yet, but in general I feel like the way you would lose is either you run out of cards or you have too many communist cells operating within the United States at a single point in time, at which point the USA would become the USSA. Cold War humor, is it still funny? So I feel like this would be ripe for political commentary, such as event cards that would be sort of similar to epidemic cards in the game Pandemic. So maybe you draw a card that is a film with communist sympathies subtly worked into the plot line, at which point you would have more sympathizers in various cities throughout the United States. And then maybe you would have cards that would be beneficial to you. Like maybe you could set up little base stations throughout the United States that would operate just like the communist pieces do, but instead they would be patriot pieces. So it would be sort of like the Boy Scouts of America, and so they would kind of spread out throughout the United States to fend off the Red Menace. So I thought that would be a better use of game mechanics than to give any sort of platform for the Westboro Baptist Church, just because anybody who is that vulgar and that just outright terrible when it comes to denying people rights and to villainizing people, I just feel like they should be kind of wiped out of history. Like when their family is gone, we should just pretend that they never even existed. I know they say that people who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it, but I feel like if people know that if you do something bad, you will literally be wiped out from history, that might also deter people from doing ridiculous things. So anyways, Alex, on that note, I'm going to get back and finish my paper, and then I'm done. And then I'm pretty much completely free with school aside from my exam tomorrow and a little 2-page paper due on Thursday. But that's not important because I'm done, and that means I'll see you tomorrow. Holy crap, Alex! I totally forgot that it's our 50th vlog. I feel like if I had realized that before I had recorded and then started editing my entire video, I probably would have mentioned it earlier, but I thought I would throw this in now just to say, it's our 50th vlog! We have made 50 of these. That's like 50. That's like half of 100. I mean, how cool is that?